we'll have question and answers as well later on. So just hold your questions. If they get answered during the program, during this meeting, well and good. Otherwise, we can answer them live as well in later on. So this is about the mentorship program. We'll talk about it today. So, but before that, just a brief introduction about myself and Saurabh. So we started this YouTube channel a few months back, and we saw quite a good response from the community. We have been putting a lot of content online from quite some time. There was a bit of difference between our content. Usually, like it's always very raw content. We don't spend a lot of time and effort editing it and that sort of thing. So I'm sure you would have seen, and that's how you all have come to the channel, come to this meeting basically. So you know all about it. We have a lot of mock interviews and a lot of other content around it. We both are DevOps and cloud architect. We have 20 plus years of IT experience, and last 10 to 12 years is mainly into DevOps and cloud. So we were sort of like, I'm speaking for Saurabh as well for myself. We were sort of lucky that when the DevOps was about to explode in the industry, that's when we were able to enter. And then we automatically had a bit of transition. Then we moved to cloud at the right time when the customers were migrating, when the customers were adopting cloud. So we were sort of lucky in that sense that we were at the right place at the right time. So we have around 12, roughly 10 to 12 plus years of experience in DevOps and cloud alone, and add that another 10 years of our dev and test experience prior to that. We have hired a lot of people in our organizations. We have worked with multiple customers, and that is the sort of skill we bring, the sort of experience that we don't have to prepare for any session. We don't have to. We have seen those situations in our experience, and that's how we speak based on our experience. So we'll talk about it. I'm sure you guys would understand that DevOps and cloud is a difficult stream. It is, in a way, cuts across the entire SDLC of the product. So DevOps engineers contribute when the product is being built, when the product is being tested, when the product is being deployed, when the product is in the production environment, they manage it also. So they are across all these phases. That's why you will see bunch of tools, technologies, process, everything is expected from a DevOps and cloud engineer. This is just one of the example, but you will find 100 such slides or diagrams on the internet, which will tell you that there are so many tools, technologies. Some of them are very important to learn. A lot of them are not necessary to learn. So mentorship is not just about telling you do this, do this, do this. The mentorship is all about also telling you what is not relevant and what should be spent minimum time, so your journey becomes successful. Your journey is shorter. So it's not just talking about that do these 100 things and yes, you will get a job. No, do these important things, how to handle things that you have not worked on, and how you can transform your knowledge from one tool to another, and all sort of things. So those things also get covered in the mentorship area, I would say. If you are seeking from an expert, then they would tell you what things you should not look at. That's how my channel also actually initially started. I started posting things that people should not do. Look at those short videos, 2-3 minutes videos, and see things that I saw students and learners were doing. And I'll tell you why they were doing it and why they get influenced by the wrong people. And then they start doing all those extra things that are required, but you don't need to spend months and months on those activities. It's a difficult stream. A lot of things have to be learned. So the learning curve, you can assume it will take roughly 6 months of time. If somebody has very basic knowledge, then it will take at least 6 months, even longer for some people, to get into DevOps and cloud and be productive. So it takes a bit of time. And I hope all of you would agree to it, that it's not a basic programming language, understanding that you learn a bit of loops, a bit of database connectivity, and you start like calling yourself as a developer because you can cover a lot of things in a programming language in a shorter duration. So we found a lot of issues that people are facing right now. There are some issues that are in your control. There are some issues beyond your control. So the market, lack of jobs in the market as of now. There are certain limitations that you can't control. The market is sort of grim right now. It's going through a transition where the overall international, the tech industry is going through a bit of recession or whatever you call it. They are into credit crunch. Companies are not trying to grow that much because the interest rates are high. So a lot of other economical factors involved. There are a bit of less jobs, but I would say there are jobs. Still, there are jobs. We are getting feedback from a lot of students. We ourselves look at the market and see there are jobs, but not for very low skilled person. If you are experienced, you have uh, worked on projects, then there are still jobs. So that tells us that there are less jobs for the entry level right now. And we hope that the market is going to improve over the next 1 year. When the interest rates start to go down, things will improve. Uh, people lack their interview conversion to offer letter. People do get interview calls occasionally. They will put some experience, or they will try to highlight their experience in resume, but they are not able to convert that because it's a very employer friendly market right now. They try to look for a perfect fit. They don't accept anyone who has superficial high level understanding and that just go with that. That sort of market is not there right now. That's not the situation. So they look for perfect fit. So people are not converting their interview calls into offer letters. Sometimes people panic in the interviews. They forget everything. That is a trend coming out, and we know that it happens. Even with experienced people, it happens. But people who have less prepared, less hands-on, are likely to fall into this category. Uh, Organizations have very high expectations from candidate. They expect them to know a lot of tools, be perfect fit for that company, uh, should have handled all the entire SDLC, worked with multiple teams, from monitoring to dev to security, all the things. That sort of expectations from a DevOps and cloud engineer. That also is a bit of problem we have seen a lot of learners are facing. But what is the main issue behind this? All of these, I found that people have lack of skills. Yes, they don't have that enough experience. They don't have the right skills. They are spending on time on the skills that are not related to DevOps and cloud. That will be not so much expected in their job also. They don't have the right level of depth in their knowledge. They learn from very, very high level, deploy a basic container image, look at the user interface, Nginx image, and be happy with it, or build some basic projects that deploy some simple application, or build basic CI/CD process in one single AWS account, in assuming that it's a dev account and in the dev environment, that sort of thing. Whereas the organization expect you to be aware of multi-accounts, aware of multi-environments, aware of security, aware of cost optimization, well-architected framework from all side of, they want to cover their entire boundary and the entire landscape that a DevOps and cloud engineer should be able to come and add value. So the required depth is not there because they are studying from sources which themselves do not have that much of experience. They are not building quality projects. They are building very high level projects, very simple projects in their resume. The sources is YouTube and other such places. People are not reaching out to the right mentors. They are not reaching out to the industry experts. So that's why they end up building simple projects and try to show that in their resume. But those projects don't cover the required depth. They don't have the technical vocabulary. You will see a lot of people in the mocks that we conduct and the feedback that we give, they are talking non-technical language. They will be talking very raw sort of language, which is not appropriate for an organization to attract and quickly get hired. So their vocabulary is not technical in nature. Not talking about the English speaking vocabulary. It's the technical words that should come out in an interview. Every job description will have some sort of hints what the job description is talking about. So you can build your vocabulary around it when you are going for an interview. So, and obviously it's not an overnight change. You will eventually have to adapt it in your learning itself, so that since you are learning, you are talking to experts, you are talking to your colleagues in that language, then it's very easy to convey that in the interview also. And you are learning from sources that themselves don't have required level of industry knowledge or the experience. So for example, you are learning from basic freelancers or people who themselves were probably not having job or not having enough experience. People who are driving this community on YouTube and other sources, they themselves are not full time, or they haven't spent long enough with multiple customers. Just with one customer, their problems may be solved by one automation level, but the same solution may not be applicable to the other customers. So you have to go next level. You have to look at different options, different solutions, maybe tools, maybe process, maybe next additional level of security, maybe you want to reduce the cost for the other customer. It's very cost sensitive customer. So you need to know a lot of things before you can design solutions. And the trainers and people that I speak to, they don't have experience. Even people at large organizations like Simply Learn or a lot of other Scalar and some other organization, like they don't have fixed people. You get assigned a random trainer every week or every course, and then you don't get that right level of knowledge and sharing it. They assume that their trainer will be able to train any batch on any day. So if somebody is sick, they assign a new trainer, and then that connect is not there. So, and also they don't have experience. They are trainers. So trainer is different. The coach is different. Whereas the player who speaks with their experience and all is pretty different. So you will see that in any of the cricketing terms, or they look for the people who have prior experience, so they can understand the player's problem and guide accordingly. So that's how it should be. The industry experts should be given preference when looking for a mentor. So what is this entire program that we are talking about? So based on all these problems that we saw, we are trying to solve these problems through a dedicated program. We are calling it as DevOps and Cloud Mentorship Program. And what we saw is that most of the courses online are time driven, that it's an AWS course for 6 weeks, 4 weeks, and that's it. That's they're gonna deliver. They don't check the feedback, how learners are behaving, how learners are able to reproduce that knowledge and respond in the interviews and perform after that. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to offer a guided learning program until you get your desired results. Your results could be getting a job, your first job. It could be you are already into a DevOps and cloud space. You want to get promotion in your current job, because one organization does not give you the entire experience. So we try to add that additional things that you are not doing at your current company. So you might be eligible for promotion, or you switch to another company, or get your first job. People who are in test automation, network engineer, and other streams, full stack developers, they're trying to get into DevOps and cloud. That is another area where people need mentorship. Or people who they just want to enhance their skill set with DevOps and cloud. Even project managers, business analysts, and all sort of architects who want to enhance in their DevOps and cloud skill set. Mentorship program is very much suitable for them. And uh, we don't we are not like time driven. It's not a time driven thing that you achieve, or you spend 2 weeks, 6 weeks, 5 weeks with us and the magic will happen and that sort of thing. It's a slightly longer program for some people, for few people who are ready in their career, and they just need that additional X factor added to their profile and that sort of thing. They may get quick results as well. But it's a guided program, not a time driven program. until you get your results. So we are not committing a job here. We are committing that we will be supporting you until you get your results.
So, Sanjeev,
Uh,
just on the last slide, I just wanted to add something.
yes, please.
Yep. So the fifth point also might be this program is also very much suitable for freshers who have just come out of their college. They're looking for their first job. There's a question in the chat that is this suitable for freshers? And I would say absolutely yes. Because the freshers, when we start this program right from the very basics, so for somebody who has no knowledge about anything in DevOps, so you've got a very structured program. We start up with the multiple boot camps, then we go on to the projects. We also cater to your CV refinements. There are multiple sessions which happen, and then we have got weekly sessions which occur on every Sunday. So where we ask all the team members to actually improve their communication skills. So they will be going through a lot of different stuff there, where they will be talking about different technical stuff so that their communication skills are improved. So yes, freshers are very welcome in this. So just on this slides. Thanks, Sanjeev.
How are we different from others? We are not a company. Uh, we are currently working in the industry, and based on that experience is what we are talking. We bring 20 years of experience in each of us, and last 10 plus years of experience in DevOps Cloud. So you can assume that you are in safe hands. You will be mentored and guided according to your experience and according to your level. We are not time driven. We are result driven. So we look at result. We try to help you until you get your support. You get the so you know you are supported, and the support levels are different. When you are learning, you need that learning support. When you are building projects, you need different level of support. When you actually get an interview call, you need different level of support at that time. It's the support is also very dynamic in nature. It depends on where you are in your career or in your situation. So that's why we say right now you may not be looking at that. You just want to learn basic stuff, but you will need additional things in future. Maybe you right away need the interview support or interview help. You already have something lined up. I'm sure few of you will reach out that I have interview next week or 10 days. We can't do a magic overnight. We can try, but it's best that you join such kind of program which will enable you that first interview call that you get, you convert that into a job offer. So we will try to take you to that level that you are confident converting your offer letter, your interview calls into offer letters. But it will take a bit of time.
Yep. So one more thing to add to that. So in the few sessions that we had for mentorship, so how we did that was we did a job analysis for the interview. So for example, if somebody brings in that I've got this interview, so we do read those job descriptions, try to find the potential questions that may be asked in the interview and what sort of answers you should give to an interview. So this is very different from any other course where they are just time driven, they are not results driven. But we stay with you, we try to help you in every possible way. So I've personally worked with candidates trying to decipher into what sort of questions that might be asked in the interview and how would you need to answer it. Also, as a part of this, we are committed to refine your CV. How do you embed the learnings that you have received in the projects? How do you actually convert it into your CV and look at your LinkedIn? So that's the best chance you get, because when we say we are not time driven and results driven, so that is why there is a no end date as such to the program. So once you have joined in, it's unlike any other program which just runs for 3 months or 6 months and then you're out left to dry yourself. So we stay with you as long as it takes. So we try to work out with you what is the problems having, what are your weak points, how can we help in doing that. So it's a very powerful forum that we run in here, and not I haven't seen any other course which is result driven and not time driven. So, yeah.
So how we conduct what is included in the program, let's briefly understand how we run this and how we say that it is different from others and other programs do not cover this kind of content is, so when you join the program, we speak to you one to one, understand where you stand, you fresher, network engineer, database administrator, already a DevOps engineer, but does not have the required skill set, or whatever your situation is, and try to create a very dedicated roadmap for you. We also look at where you lack, identify those gaps, and tell you that these are the gaps that need to be filled. Based on that, we create a roadmap for the entire mentorship program. So if a lot of people are lacking in the security space, then we look at security, cost optimization. If we think that people are not certified on AWS, or they know very basic AWS, but not the advanced, then we look at advanced AWS courses. Those sort of things become the course of the mentorship program. That's why we don't say that mentorship program is like, it's based on you joining, identifying the gaps that you have, based on that creating material and content for you, and then delivering that in a group, identifying the common pattern and delivering it in a group every weekend. So weekly sessions will be conducted, which will be slightly complex, not going to be very basic that you can easily find on YouTube. Then there is no differentiation. These will be complex topics. We will break it down into small pieces so that you can understand, digest, maybe build projects on those topics, integrating 2 or 3 topics and building a project on that. And that's how we will try to learn in a sort of group. It's not going to be massive group. We're looking at, we already have like 30 registrations in place. We're looking for another 20 odd people to join this program and build something, a good community of 50 people who can help each other, who can join, and make it more of a sustainable sort of program. Build complex projects with us. Let's identify that you need AWS boot camps, or DevSecOps boot camps, or DevOps and cloud boot camps, or any sort of knowledge. So it's not, mentorship does not mean that we just a mentor and then leave. It includes a lot of training sessions. So if you speak that it's a 2 years program, assume that a lot of content is going to come, but some of them might be repeated in future. Some of the topics that are important that gets discussed in the interviews, we will start bringing them right away. So we're not expecting that the results will be visible after 2 years. It's a long program in the sense that if students are joining, if some people are joining from a learning point of view, they can stay for 2 years if they want to. We believe that a good 6 months should be more than enough for somebody to show their results and speak the right language of a DevOps and cloud engineer. You would need help in the interview preparation, resume building, LinkedIn review, those sort of things. Those are the sort of activities we do in the mentorship program. And just before you go for interview, if you get an interview call, then you need to understand what the job description actually means. The title will most likely say DevOps and Cloud Engineer, but between the lines of that job description, you will see that there are hints how you can drive that interview, how you can take charge of the interview rather than going and just answering questions yes or no. There are hints. There are always, every job description says something. There is always focus on automation. There is focus on security. There is different focus if it's a startup job description, if it is a bank or insurance or retail or healthcare or whatever. So there will be hints in that. We try to decipher that job description for you and give you the possible questions that can be asked in the interview, or based on your experience, how you can drive that sort of interview in the next day or next week, whenever that happens. So that's where you need the most important help. Learning is all good. You are participating in sessions, doing projects, but just before an interview, everybody's a bit of nervous. We have seen it with ourselves. No matter what level of experience you have, you are a bit nervous. You can't, you need guidance there, that what could be the potential questions? How can I drive this interview? So those are the sort of activities that are included, and there is no time limit. So you might be taking 6 months to do this, 12 months to do it, or whatever time it takes. You get your success, you want to leave the program, you are more than welcome. You want to stay in the program, you can stay in the program, because the learnings will continue. The sessions will continue, the advanced topics, the projects, those sort of things will continue in the program. Some other benefits, we know a lot of industry experts will try to bring their point of view also. So you are not just talking to me and Saurabh. Like, I know we have enough experience to cater to a lot of candidates, but why to stick with just to let's bring additional people from AWS, Microsoft, or wherever possible, wherever we have reached, we'll try to bring those people. Once we build a good community, like we have our network, we have referrals available. The 50 people are joining this program. They can help each other. We two of us can help each other. The network that we have reached to, they can help each other. So referrals are available to the entire community. Um, in case you get into any debugging issue or any problem, all of the members are added to a Slack channel where they can help each other in terms of debugging issue. My Jenkins is not connecting, or my Docker is not running, or whatever is the problem. The experience certificate, if somebody needs that sort of thing, can be created from DevOps and Cloud Labs and can be delivered to candidates if they need experience for the program. And obviously access to all our past. We have a lot of projects built. We are going to build more projects. Another project is starting 14th January. We have boot camps and more advanced AWS boot camp is coming shortly. So you get access to all our past and future projects and future boot camps and everything. So basically an exclusive content you're going to get apart from the weekend sessions that we are going to conduct, especially for the community. So it's a no-brainer. Like there is probably no reason to skip this. Um, FAQs, is it only for Indians because payment is in Indian rupees? So we use TopMate for having the payments and all. But that doesn't mean that only from India you can sign up. You can sign up for anywhere in the world. A lot of students in those currently signed up have signed up from overseas also. We have students from UK, US, India, all the locations. Is it for freshers or experienced people? We are making sure that this is relevant for everyone. Um, Freshers are more than welcome. They can stay in the program for 2 years, enjoy, learn. When you leave the program, you are competing against the experienced people. You are, you know, uh, not just and exiting as a fresher or entry level. You will be like our target is that you are talking that expert language that industry will accept and from day one. So that's what the companies are. They don't want to spend on training candidates when they sign up, like when they join the job. They want to make sure that you are already trained, hands-on, speaking the right language that they're speaking at the job. So we want to bring freshers and entry-level people, college students to that level, basically. That's why we say there is no such program in the industry or anywhere. Even um, other like large organization training institutes, they won't have this kind of program. They haven't envisioned it that way that me and Saurabh have thought about it. Is it live or recorded? The program is always live. The sessions are live. They do get recorded just like this Zoom session and will be posted so that people can, if they miss out for some reason, they can watch the recording just for continuity point of view. But sessions are always live, always sort of raw, mix of presentation, mix of content, the code, that sort of thing, and discussions. So our sessions are not one-way street where we just speak something and deliver the content and just leave. We make sure you can watch it on YouTube or our channel, some of the sessions that we have put. Um, we make sure that every 10, 15 minutes, every logical stop, you get to ask questions that uh, are you getting the right feedback? Are you understanding that sort of thing? That takes a lot of time because once you get into question answer, different people based on their experience will bring different type of questions, and we spend lot of time on that. When is it starting? So it's a long running program. It's always running. It never starts, never stops. It gonna continue it. Whenever you join, you will join there. We will be conducting your one-to-one session, and we will be taking your based on how you uh, based on your situation, those gaps will be identified, will be informed to you, and based on that, the structure of the mentorship program will be decided. So we usually decide for next 2 weeks, 3 weeks kind of thing, and then based on the feedback, we keep on changing. And dynamically, we also change it based on the feedback in the session also. So for example, last week there was a feedback to include additional topics. So we are bringing those topics. So that kind of thing. How to register? We have already sent most of the time the link in the WhatsApp groups. If you are joining from WhatsApp groups, YouTube or LinkedIn, so you know our TalkMate page, you can register over there. Uh, just for the next 20 candidates, we are offering a 25% of discount. The price is not in lakhs or not expensive. Just go and take a look on this page. Most likely Saurabh can probably paste it in the chat also, the group, the link, and you go and take a look. It's not very expensive. Just make sure that it covers the amount of effort that we are putting in, and it's a lot of value. Lot of students have told us that they couldn't resist when you then look at the price, and they just had to sign up because they don't get anything of that sort at this price. So uh, it's very minimal. You will see in India or anywhere they're charging at least 7 or 8 times than this, very easily, even more. Probably there is no such product in the industry of that caliber, that level, and they don't bring those experts. They never bring two experts of this level, and the pricing are usually 7 8 times more than what we are offering. And this is obviously for the next few candidates only. So when we fill up 20 seats, we don't want to create a massive group of people where we are not able to give enough personal attention. So we'll have to stop entry into the program for a few months and then restart entry again after a few months. So that kind of thing. So take a look. You should have the link in the chat also, or you can browse it when you go home, or when if you are outside somewhere, and you can take a look later on. I think that's all I have that I wanted to show. We can go back to question and answer. If there must be an option to raise hand in the Zoom session. So if you have any questions, just raise your hand. If you are able to unmute yourself, you can one of you can unmute, or I will try to unmute.
Yep, I think we have a question from Nigam Naik. Yeah, Nigam, tell us about it.
1 second, I'm just trying to. Yep, Nigam, you should be able to unmute yourself now.
Yes, sir. Yeah, good evening, sir.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, actually, sir, I have some doubts. Can I go through?
Is it related to the program?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, let's talk about it. Yep.
Yeah, actually, sir, I am a 43-year-old guy and who is having experience in the network support engineer, who is
Mhm.
working as a network support engineer. And at present, I am having 5 years of gap. And in these 5 years of gap, I am working as a faculty at my own institute. Okay, so I want to switch my career to the cloud related area. Is the
Yep.
program for me?
Yes, makes sense, right? You have network engineer experience, so cloud is better
Yeah.
suited to you than so much of DevOps. So yes, it is the right program for you in that case, because you will have to justify a lot of experience. You have 5 years already. You want to probably cover some of your gap years, and uh, you need to show experience.
Yeah, yes, sir. Definitely, sir.
So
And
Nigam,
the
when you join us, we do have one-to-one sessions first, where we identify
okay,
what you have done. Based on that, there are multiple streams in DevOps itself. So one stream is your CI/CD, where the DevOps engineers are asked to do the pipelines for deployment and integration. The other stream is towards the infrastructure and network engineering, where you do
okay,
some deployments like infrastructure deployments using Terraform or
okay,
CloudFormation. And then you have got a third stream, so which is towards the SRE. where you do all the operations and the support. So we try to align your current skills with what is the best suited skills in DevOps. Not everybody has to go through the same. Some people are more expert in programming, some people like scripting, some people are more support oriented. So we try to analyze whatever your skills are, and then we suggest, and that is when we create your specific roadmap as to what are the key areas that you should be focusing on. And that is the reason why when you look at the different kinds of experiences that we have with people, uh, in our program, we have got like people from like 1 year experience or a fresher to up to 25 years of experience. So people who are just trying to make their mark in the DevOps industry, or
Yeah.
they're just trying to switch from any other professional. So
Yeah.
it's all suited for you as well.
What is the program? What kind of your projects should I enroll in the program?
Okay, the projects are you get to have all the projects which are in the program, and we tend to do live sessions when we are doing all these projects. So some of the projects have already been completed, but we'll revisiting again and again with various students. So you don't have one project. So currently we have got three. We'll be looking out at more. So we've got projects specific to CI/CD. We have projects specific to Kubernetes and Argo CD and GitOps. Another project which is coming up live in January. So that is more AWS focused, and we'll be looking at multi-region, multi-environments, and multi-pipeline projects. So different variety of projects, and so it's not just about doing the projects itself. So there is going to be a lot of learning. What are the key challenges that you have faced? So once you start doing the projects, there will be lots of issues in it which you will overcome, and that helps you in answering some of the scenario based questions in the interview. So these are very detailed projects, enterprise grade, because so that you can start putting them in their reflection in your CV, and you will be able to justify the knowledge because you're doing it hands on.
Sukant, you have next question.
Hi Sanjeev. So I have a question related to this mentorship program, but I'm looking for from an experience perspective. So I've been working as a DevOps engineer for almost 3.5 years. I have total years of 7 years in experience. So I'm sorry, I'm audible, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Can you
yes,
hear me?
I can hear you.
So okay. So I've been working as a cloud as well as a DevOps engineer, and I've worked on projects like migration as well as event-based architecture and infra-based architecture as well. And also DevOps side, I have worked on
So
TFS,
I got it.
Jenkins,
I
and
got the idea. I got the idea. You have some experience. Now you have to assess whether you think you are industry level, you are expert, and are you what's your target is to switch to a different job or something. Are you able to do that? So assess your situation. I have seen people having a lot of experience on paper, but not having enough exposure. People are working in a specific area, one single company. They don't get that right level of information right in that same organization. So we have a lot of people who join our projects and boot camps and stuff where they want to enhance their knowledge by learning from other projects and other like areas. So it's still relevant for people who want to learn additional things, who want to enhance their knowledge despite having a basic DevOps and cloud experience as well.
okay. So I'm just concerned about like this program is focusing on both the entry level as well as the experienced people. How is the curriculum has been developed?
So that is what we are saying. We will make sure that there is enough uh, content from which covers from basics, but at the same time, we
Okay.
don't finish at basic level. We take it to next level. So it could be how AWS manages single account, how you managed hundreds of accounts and thousands of accounts. So we make sure that we cover the basics as well as the advanced level. And even from freshers and entry level people, the expectations are to know at least medium level complexity and slightly complex stuff as well. So it will add value to freshers as well. So even for freshers, we will try that it is slightly advanced for them also.
Okay, okay. And I have a last question from my side. It is kind of a generic one. Uh, so you were talking about the vocabularies which has to be used when we are, presenting on the interview.
Mhm.
So unless or until we get a hands-on, or we tend to speak daily that those vocabularies, even though we practice, in weekend sessions or
I got
anything,
it.
how will
I
we
got it.
able to?
We will make sure that's what we are not. Nobody has thought about it because we have gone through that process. We know what interviewer will look for when they are good, trying to hire people, and where we struggled. How you are absolutely right. Unless and until you speak that language, just like English or any other language, right? If it is not our native language, my main language,
Right.
I need to speak about it. That's where in the mentorship program there will be opportunities, and we have already started that, like that sort of activity where people are uh, given those activities and tasks, and then they will. So that's all included in the program. You are absolutely right. Unless and until you get the opportunity, it will not be success. It's not an overnight thing that suddenly you go and start speaking that language in the interview.
Okay. Yeah. That's it from my side. Thank you so much.
iPhone 2.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, hi. My name is Yogen. So my field is that I am a unified communication engineer, okay, for Microsoft Teams. So I have a complete different stream. So I just want to, I was going through the DevOps and I want to, change my career at this stage. I have 7 years of experience. So I won't have any idea on programming or how DevOps works. But then now I have decided to change my stream to DevOps. So how should I go further? Like how this program will help me to shape my career future in DevOps. So that is a big question for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. So yeah, it's for you and for everyone else who has some sort of experience. Our main motive is that anybody coming experienced person, freshers, you can still give them direction that okay, this is what you follow, and you will have a successful career and job in few months. But for experienced people, the biggest challenge is that their previous experience should not be wasted. In your case, it could be Microsoft Teams or communication or whatever areas you are working, but it's relevant for anybody who is network engineer or DBA or whatever. Biggest challenge is making sure that the roadmap and things that they learn should be relevant to their past experience, so they can add on top of it. They go as a 7 years experienced person, and additional knowledge is DevOps and cloud, and they can justify that. So that's what we discuss in the first opening one-to-one session. We create a very customized roadmap for people, making sure that their previous experience gets counted.
Okay.
That's our motive, and that's how we plan to do it. I hope it makes sense, right? That we don't want your
Yeah.
experience to be wasted. At the
Mhm.
same time, making sure you are learning those additional things. Like the last person said, he wants to, focus a little bit more on the cloud side rather than on DevOps side. Then what areas in the cloud that should be focused, that sort of thing. So usually there is a correlation between what they were doing and what they should be doing in future. So we try to identify that relationship.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Shan.
Okay, so am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, so my question is actually I'm having around 9 to 10 years of experience, but the thing is I have done the theoretical part from various different streams. But my since my experience is higher, so I wanted to know more about the projects we are going to cover in this course, so that we can justify our experience and talk the same thing in the interview as well. So that is
Yeah,
what
well,
I
that's what
mean.
I
I'm more
told you.
concerned on the projects
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah. So projects are, if you haven't done our projects, people struggle to finish those projects. Those are complex projects. Even the January project that we are bringing. So all these past projects and future projects are provided to our mentorship students anyway. They don't have to register for any of our content in future. So uh, projects are complex. We bring it from our experience, and we bring it from the learnability that this project is going to add immense value to your resume. And those are the game changers. So back it with vocabulary, back it with the sessions that we are doing, back it with the projects. These are the three things. Automatically, your interviews you will start doing like perfect professional expert and architect kind of profile. And if you have past experience, then obviously you will also bring some knowledge, and we will add more to it based on these 3 or 4 tools that we have. Projects, the right vocabulary, the complex sessions, the advanced sessions that we are doing, they will add value.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
not everyone,
how many?
not everyone has to be a DevOps engineer. So if you have lots of experience, you can learn DevOps and straight away be a DevOps architect. So if you have, let's say, around 10, 12 years of experience, and your experience can be materialized in a way that the DevOps knowledge can be put on top of it. So we then suggest as to how you should be going in for an architecture job based on the seniority of your career. So it's not one size fits all. So we have to analyze it and then suggest the best path for you. So there have been people who have been coming to me that I want to learn CI/CD, and they have been trying to do it for, let's say, past 6 months, 8 months. And then when I look at their profile, they have been doing like infrastructure engineering for 12 years, 15 years. So my suggestion to them is very different than to somebody who is just starting up with DevOps. So it all depends on what your earlier experiences are, and then we try to build on top of it, because that gives you the best chance of your success in DevOps, as well as your initial learnings should never go wasted. So there are always learnings in your career which you can use and leverage DevOps knowledge to climb up the ladder.
Okay. Okay. So what I understood is that through the projects only we are going to differentiate our experience, and then we can proceed, right?
Well, the projects are very essential because they give you hands-on experience. So if you are just doing bookish knowledge, you will struggle up in the interviews. When an interviewer gets deeper into the second level of questions, unless and until you have done the projects yourself, you will not be able to answer them. So that is why projects become very critical. Just learning from the books, watching YouTube videos, just a Udemy course which you're just listening, that never helps. It's just superficial confidence
Yep.
that you get that you know the subject. But trust me, when it goes to an interview and the interviewer wants to dig deeper, you will not be able to answer those questions. So that is why projects are important. And that is why we cover a lot of things in the project. So we've got 3 projects currently, we'll be bringing more. And I think I
Okay.
just spoke about what are the different projects that we have.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
We have Arjun.
Yeah, hi Sanjeev. So my question is, I am around 7 years into cybersecurity. When I say cybersecurity, it is more into managing the tools like data loss prevention and Netscope, CASB, those sort of applications. We just write the policies and all. So, but now everyone is talking about cloud security. So I want to get into this, and let's say if I go for this course with you, would this be relevant or not? Thank you. That's my question.
Yeah, Arjun, I'll answer that. Just this week, we are going to cover DevSecOps, cloud security posture management. We'll be also discussing about cloud workload protection. Security is a very, very important aspect of this course, and even in all the projects, we'll ensure that all the projects are securely built in terms of cloud security and the infrastructure. So myself, I've worked as a security architect for a long time for cloud security. Even Sanjeev has got a very experienced level security positions. So yes, security is a very important aspect. And if you have any understanding of how the security should be in legacy systems, you would find it very relatable to how security is done in cloud.
Thank you. Thank you so much. My doubts are cleared.
Security is our main focus. We starting with security as well. So we all understand security is always, you probably would better understand it's a day zero activity,
Yeah.
has to be done first. If any of your answer in interview or anywhere is not secure, right, it's gone.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Saurabh
Thank
and
you.
Sanjeev.
Next is Yogesh.
Hi, Sanjeev. Good evening. So my question is, see, I have totally 11 plus years of experience, and I was working in a product-based company, and it was from on-prem to now cloud. Uh, I've taken certifications. I'm an associate developer with AWS, but that's not helping me to crack my interviews. So I'm literally confused here to know which one to know which course to take, as in because I'm biased with my time, and I've spent a lot of time. And I've seen your reels, I've seen your videos. Now that's some way that no, I need a mentorship, and I'm really confused to take which program here because taking exams, having certification is not going to help me in interviews. That's
No,
just going
it's
to
not gonna.
be.
You need to look at how company. Can you go and mute one of you? Yeah. So see, yes, certifications are help. It's not that they don't help, but at the same time, you need to be building some projects, also trying to understand how those migrations are done, what happens after the migration, what happens before the migration. So a lot of things. And if you are interested to put in some effort, then you are more than welcome to join this. We will make sure that we cover all these things that mentorship. A lot of people are signing up from this group already. So yeah, we will make sure, Yogesh, it's a very valid use case. When we did our certifications and we jumped onto the projects, we also struggled. We found that just what companies did in 2015 is that, quickly go certified, and because customers are waiting and you need to jump onto that project, so go get certified. So we got certified,
Exactly.
we got other people certified, but projects are different. We struggled, all of us, and then we realized what the process should be and what sort of projects have to be learned, what what sort of certifications have to be done. Is developer associate a right certification for you? So that also has to be assessed.
Yeah, because now I was into the CI/CD and continuous integration and continuous
Yeah.
development in an on-prem environment, but not in cloud. When we were moving into cloud, there's a lot of confusions happen, acquisitions happen. So
Yes.
I'm kind of stuck in between OCI, AWS, Azure. It is like
Yeah.
disaster.
That's why, like,
So
let's talk about one more benefit of this. Like, it's not our content or the things that we talk is just raw like this. It's We don't have to go and read something. We may have to, but a lot of guidance we can give in those sessions. So if, for example, at your job you are struggling with an architecture or something you want to bring in such a session, we can talk about it, that this is my situation at work, company is moving to cloud, what sort of tools should I suggest, what sort of activities, what sort of project plan we should have. We can cover everything related to such thing. We have done it, seen it, so many things. So you can bring any such thing, and that can also be a massive value add, right? So you don't have to go through 100 videos to make a roadmap for your company. We can help you, and you can make sure that you keep the information secure, so that you don't expose what company you are building and what sort of thing. You just a casual, that this is what the company situation is.
so
A lot of questions around
Sanjeev,
EMIs and installments and all. We don't do installments, and the fee itself is pretty low. And we are not a massive company to manage installments and do that sort of activity. So we keep the fees very low, so that everybody can join. If we get into management of fee, Saurabh, somebody wants a link in the chat. Uh, thank you. So we don't want to get into the EMI collection and that sort of thing. That's a very massive overhead. So once we just want to focus on what use case we are trying to bring over the weekend, what project you should be building, and maybe helping in fixing some of the issues rather than collecting these EMIs and that sort of thing. So once you are in the program, you just never have to pay anything. You get access to all our past and current stuff.
Sandeep, sorry, Yogesh here. I'm so I'm a little confused now which program to know connect. Is there an email address that I can email you, and probably we can go on with that.
This is only about the mentorship program we are talking.
Yeah, that's correct. Yes.
So yeah, see you on Sunday.
Okay, sure.
Hello.
Deepak, next.
Yeah, hi sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
Sir, myself as a very beginner and fresher. So
Okay.
my question is, DevOps is not a small concept. Also, it is like a mixture of small bits like CI/CD pipelines, Terraform, infrastructure as code, and AWS like that. So
Yes.
my very big question was on which area we have to focus on more time and which area we have to focus on less time as a learning as a fresher.
Yeah. So if you join the program, we will make sure that your roadmap gets covered. We will make sure that you are not spending time on things that you should not be supposed to. At very high level, I will tell you you don't need to spend a lot of time on a specific programming language for months and months. Make sure you are practicing on Linux terminal, so you are not spending a lot of time learning Linux. Don't spend a lot of time learning Git and Git related stuff. We have simplified that on our channel, and there are documents on our channel as well where you can focus on those specific stuff. 80-90% of the time is being discussed. Yes, in a very complex cases, the additional Git and additional Linux things may be used. Uh, you don't need to spend a lot of time on setting up Jenkins agents and setting up Jenkins tools, etc. Make sure you have to learn how to use them, not how to set up and the how to troubleshoot the agents and that sort of thing. Those things are usually stable in any organization. A lot of other things people end up spending a lot of time on shell scripting and that sort of thing. So these are the things that are coming to my mind. But later on, when we look at the resume, when we look at the profile, we can suggest additional things. So avoid these sort of mistakes.
Okay, so on which sort of topics I have to spend more time, sir? Like Terraform or AWS services, or which one I have to focus on more time?
A lot of time on your cloud provider, your Docker, Kubernetes, Terraform, Ansible. That is
Okay,
that should take majority of your time. Make sure you are building in all this in a Git repository. Make sure you are building it on a Linux terminal. That should cover your Git and Linux also.
okay. Thank you, sir. So you are saying major part of DevOps is like in infrastructure as code and AWS services and Docker, Kubernetes, Ansible. These five are the main topics in
These are
DevOps.
the main areas that you should focus on.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
I have one question, sir. Should DevOps engineer know about the system design related topics like developers for the higher post?
They need to know a little bit. It's good. It adds value. So, for example, not so much in the DevOps space because in DevOps they are mainly like building and deploying applications. So they can. It's a collaborative role. So you can question developers that why not this, why not that in this. But when it comes to cloud, you need to know why this application is designed this way. So how the certificates are going to be made available, security. This you are designing this solution this way, but our database is on-prem. You cannot reach on-prem via this process or this tunnel. So you can question those things if you have those skills, and you can help developers design better solutions and that kind of thing, because developers tend to look for shortcuts. They will say, okay, this is available, let's make use of this service and just build this solution. But as a cloud engineer, you will tell them that no, this is not appropriate. We don't have connectivity across accounts, or we don't have this system design that you are proposing is not suitable when it comes to implementation. But it comes off obviously after some months or some years. But you should have that mindset. You can't say that I won't understand system design at all,
Okay. But
right?
for example, for some lead roles, actually, some organization expect the
Definitely.
system design things
Yes.
also from the coding related experience. So in that case, actually, how you mentor the students or something like that? I
Yes.
want to.
Yeah. So we gonna be building live system design. So we have plans that we will be bringing a problem statement that this is how a company wants to design their EKS cluster, and let's design this in AWS, how the VPC should be, where the database should be, and make it even more complex that your PPC cluster is your EKS cluster or whatever services is in some account. The other service is on-prem. The other your database is in some other account. So now design the system. So we're gonna look at system design is gonna be one of the key aspect in the program. So because system design allows us to have one dedicated 3 hour session and we build a solution, and when you go out it's an exhaustive 2 3 hours, but when you look at the design that you started with requirements and you have a well working diagram in front of you which you can go and present to your company, it's a massive relief and like a good outcome that any architect or lead would want to see.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that is something. Yeah, I know that.
we want
But
to do that. That is
the,
in plan. Yes.
does the DevOps engineer also need to know about the low level design or only high level design?
See, there is no fixed answer for this, that how much should somebody know. So,
Okay.
the as much as you know, as much as you can speak about it, it's gonna add value. So at least system design, solution design, cloud infra design is something DevOps and cloud engineers have to know. If
Okay.
should they know a programming language level design or low level design is something I wouldn't suggest going straight into that. But if your target is say Facebook, Netflix, Amazon sort of companies, then probably having a good programming language level knowledge also good. But if your target is that some banking or some service companies, Infosys, TCS, probably it's not so much. Wouldn't suggest to everyone,
Okay.
because then you have two beasts to manage, right? Then you will be confused. But
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
design in cloud, yes, you should be aware.
Okay, got it.
Okay, I'm muting you, Rishi. Next.
Hi Sanjeev, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, hi, good evening. So basically, I have two doubts. So, like, I wanted to know that you mentioned that you'll be having a project in January and you've had two projects previously, right?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to know that how aligned would those projects be to in comparison to real life production environment? Because like I've made a few projects, like basic projects that deploying via using CI/CD on cloud, and also I've tried to
Oops.
like deploying them on a VPC, like deploying different layers, app layer, uh,
Why are you going
on
mute?
different regions. Done that part, but and also I've been through your interview series on YouTube, and I'm like able to answer most of the answers, but I'm not sure. Like I'm not getting the confidence of like appearing for an interview in a production environment.
You attempt
Like
a mock interview with Saurabh, then you will know what your level, and you can do that sort of thing. Assess your level. Basic projects, I know everybody will do the basic CI/CD projects and all. Our projects are difficult where people struggle to build even in a 2 weeks, 3 weeks time frame. They take months and month and a half to finish, and not everyone has that much of patience. Uh, So yeah, the complex projects. These are no, and these are like related projects coming from our experience. So for example, you will build a pipeline to do something as an output. Then you build another pipeline to pick up this output, do something else, and then have another pipeline to combine the output of these two and deploy to production, have a test output or something of that sort. So don't want to tell everything what it is, but this is not a single pipeline stuff. In organization, they use multiple pipelines. There is not single. There will be a pipeline to create a golden AMI image. Then there would be a pipeline to use that AMI image to create clusters. Then there would be a pipeline to deploy applications on top of for that cluster. So there would be bunch of pipelines. The R projects are collection of these short projects.
okay, I got the gist. Also, another thing was that, like, currently I'm having around 2 years experience, but my current role is of a sysadmin,
Mhm.
Windows and Linux machines, and like I've tried switching, but like I'm not able to justify the 2 years experience on my resume. So would this program help me?
This program is
Like,
meant for such cases where people have less experience, or they have they are not able to justify. Why they are not able to justify is they have very limited knowledge of just that single company where they are working, or in a CSOPs or on a specific system admin kind of role. They need to understand what the other companies are expecting, how they are working. Based on that, they need to plan. So we add that extra X factor to your profile, then you will be confident going for the interviews. And then obviously combine it with all other vocabulary sessions and all other things that we talked about. That's gonna make you ready for going for the
Okay,
interviews in real life.
understood. And okay, okay. Like my final question, like when will this program start? Like, is
Program
it
is
like as soon as we enroll, as soon as we?
as soon as you enroll. The moment you enroll, you get linked to our Slack
Okay, okay.
channel, and that's when it kick off. You book your first one-to-one session to get a specific roadmap for you, identify the gaps. Everybody has gaps. If I speak to some mentor who has more experience or around same experience as me, they will see that, okay, this is what you are not covering. Maybe you are not covering advanced networking between on-prem and multiple clouds or something like that. They will come up with that sort of gap. That's how, and in any 2 years profile, you would expect a lot of gaps, and you would expect a lot of experience already covered. So we want to identify that where the gap is, what they should be focusing on to be ready for the industry and to be ready for future jobs.
All right. Thanks.
Sakshi, next.
Hey, hi Sanjeev, good evening.
Good evening.
So my question is, I have 3 years of experience as AWS cloud support engineer, and I used to perform sort of automation tasks. So should I go for this DevOps role? Is it justifiable if I mean like put in my resume that I have this much experience? So should I go for this DevOps role? Like it is give me a further career growth. Can you just
Yes,
suggest
yes,
me
why not?
something on?
Yes, yes. You are already in cloud ops or cloud support kind of role, so you should add additional skills as DevOps, where you can build and deploy applications. You should look
Mm-hmm.
at if there are identifying the gaps that you have, look at
Mm-hmm.
the roadmap that we suggest and identify the gaps and fill those gaps and apply for DevOps and cloud engineer.
Okay. And what sort of questions, like I have 3 years of experience, so they means in interview they will ask me like very scenario type question, or what is the kind of question they will ask me?
It's very difficult to say without knowing which job description, which company, which level you are applying. But at 3 year level, at fresher level, there people are grilling people and humiliating them and that sort of thing. So expect a lot of questions. 3 years is a lot of experience, and they would expect you to uh, behave like a lead kind of thing, where you can guide them how that company should be doing DevOps and cloud to that level. Not just like going and, okay, where are the tickets that I can come and close your tickets? No, they would expect that you will be creating the tickets, you will be creating a roadmap for them. So expect that level of knowledge, how you are monitoring in the cloud, how you are, what sort of automation you can build, all sort of things. Have you mentored people? Have you managed team or all sort of thing. 3 years is a reasonably good time to justify for a DevOps and cloud engineer.
Okay, thank you.
Now, before Somnath, I think we have got Amit waiting, but he doesn't know how to raise a hand. Amit, ask your question. Amit, you there?
You know how to unmute?
I think Amit is unmuted, but can't hear you, Amit. Yeah, because Amit pinged me that if I can ask question, and yeah, Amit, we can't hear you, so we'll come back to you next. Somnath.
Yeah, hi, good evening, Sanjay. Yeah, my question is,
Hello.
are you conducting the real-time projects in there?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it, Somnath.
Yeah, and you are conducting the real time scenarios question also in this session.
See, all interviews and all sort of those are anyway there. What we bring
Yeah,
is all
because
real time, all based on
I
the
don't have any
experience.
experience in that DevOps part. That's why I'm
Yeah. So all what I'm trying to say is that what we speak is from our experience, is
okay.
real time, is based on actual industry projects. So whatever
Okay.
projects we are bringing, or the use case that we are talking, or the session that we are going to present, or the
Okay.
vocabulary that we are going to talk, is all going to be the based upon the what we do at our job, what we have
Okay.
learned over the years. So it's
Okay.
going to be relevant. So if we, for example, talk about how DevOps and cloud works in a bank, you
Okay.
can assume and you can think, you can go for an interview or speak to another friend. That's how it will be
Okay.
done in other banks also. You will get a
Yeah.
glimpse of.
Yeah. My question is, I'm having around 5 years of experience in the banking only. The like a production support, application support.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking. You are conducting the banking level questions and answer also, like what kind of architecture they are is using and all.
Absolutely. Myself, banking is where we have seen a lot of DevOps and cloud adoption over the years. That is our core
Okay.
domain also. We cover a lot of banking related knowledge because myself, Saurabh, we have worked together when we worked for 2 years. That was also for a large enterprise bank. And even
Okay.
after that, also we have a lot of banking experience. And what we found is a lot of such banks, they work in a very consistent fashion. So when you switch from one bank to another, we didn't find much of a difference. The culture, the kind of teams and the structure and everything is same.
Yeah, yeah. Most of the banks are using the same architecture flow and all.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Ashu is happy. What happened? Ashu, server down?
Server down. Not anymore when not anymore in cloud.
Thanks, sir.
Sanjeev sir, Amit here.
Yeah,
Yes,
man.
Amit, go for it.
Yeah. Sir, first of all, I want to be tell my past experience, and then you suggest for me. My past experience currently, till now, 9 years of experience in production and application support using the skill of Oracle PLSQL, Unix, and Shell scripting. And I have, in my past experience, not I have done much coding and programming and development in this area. So, could you please suggest me which is the correct path in the cloud and DevOps for me to go for further? And as per my experience, my salary is not good right now because since 6 years I was only in the Tech Mahindra.
So what skill you
I have
are
not switched
mainly into PL
frequently.
SQL kind of role? PL and
In the
SQL.
PLSQL means like a very rare. I have to be interact in the procedure functions like this for debugging regarding as a L2 support. I have worked there, but mostly I have need to be write their SQL queries and Scratch need to be write the new queries for reporting regarding to send the reports to users and
So
clients
you basically you
and
are pretty
Unix
much.
and shell scripting.
Yeah. I understand. I spoke to exactly same candidate in an interview also that we will publish next week. It's a very common thing. They learn just a bit of Unix, Linux, and then Oracle and some PL SQL kind of coding. So yeah, and obviously there is no growth in this. There's a very standard. That's what I always keep saying, that basic PL SQL or basic full stack developers are the premium is gone now. That advantage, the edge that these kind of roles had is gone. The edge is with DevOps and cloud. So if a full stack developer is earning maybe 100 rupees per month or $100 a month, the DevOps and cloud engineer can demand 150 easily. So that edge, that premium is there in this space, so you can make use of it and learn quickly. But yeah, you have to justify a lot of past experience. So you need to be doing the complex things. You need to be building the complex project. You need to be speaking the that right language.
So what exact profile I need to be for prepare for like as a cloud architect or like a DevOps engineer, or what kind of profile is
I think
suitable
since
for me?
Yeah, so you need to put a lot of effort and look for like go for a cloud architect kind of position, but it will take quite a bit of time. You will first have to probably look internally for, like, first you have to build skills, then demonstrate through some event in your organization or within company. You try to switch. That option is always there within Tech Mahindra and these kind of companies. Look for some customer that is looking for cloud lead or that sort of thing, and then eventually be a cloud architect in next 2 3 years.
And it is will be easy for me to means like it is, can I go for the DevOps profile? Is it will be
DevOps is usually for lower roles, I would say. Like you can, you eventually, there is a bit of thin line between these, but your focus would be more on cloud. So you
as a
wouldn't be
cloud
spending a lot of
architect?
time building Java applications and .NET applications. You would focus more using the same tools. You will still be using Jenkins. You will probably using GitLab, Terraform. You will be building solutions in cloud. That would be a bit of focus, but you would know how Java .NET applications are built, because in your consulting or in your experience, because in such companies, even a DevOps and cloud consultant kind of roles are also very popular. So you can take up some role that for some time and then move to an architect.
Have you those kind of projects?
Yes, the projects that we bring and the system design that we talked about, all that will cover the architect level stuff. Our main worry is usually that, that we need to make sure that the content is balanced. It should cover a lot of concepts. At the same time, people should be able to build it of different levels. So if somebody wants to build complex projects, or he's not happy that, this is not complex for me, it may be complex for 90% of the learners, we can always enhance the complexity. We can always adjust it. If somebody is struggling to finish it, they are very entry level. Within the same project, we can simplify things that will make it more suitable for freshers. So it's just a lever, right? It's just depending upon how people, at what level they want to do, we can easily adjust the complexity of a project.
Plus, the projects are not just about completing it technically, so they're also about the designs.
Yes.
So soon we will be giving up uh, scenario-based experience questions. So where the students will be bringing up a lot of design factors in it, like what is a functional requirement, what is a non-functional requirements, what sort of logical design would you prepare, what sort of infrastructure design, security designs, what are the issues and risk in the project, how do you do a disaster recovery, how do you create backups and restore procedures. So we'll be looking at all those factors, so that when the students get asked in an interview, they can explain all these factors that they have considered about it, and that is what brings about the thought process in the projects. So it's not just about creating a CI/CD pipeline and then deploying it. So it's all about how do you look at the problem statement, how do you create a solution, what are the different factors that you have thought about it. It all reflects when you are going in an interview and then giving answers to it. So the interviewer can see the depth behind your thought process, why you haven't done it this way, what were the key challenges in the project. So we discuss about all these things. So it's not just writing away script and pipeline and executing it and your project is complete. That is a very naive way to do it. So we look at it at a very different angle, and the kind of knowledge that you get from these projects, that's unparalleled. So you would not be getting it just by doing a certain commands or executing just a list of commands which is given to you and your project is complete. So that is not the right way to actually get the learnings.
So any prerequisite to do your projects? Because in the cloud and DevOps, nothing I have done till
Yep.
now.
So we do have very structured learning before you do the project. So once you join in, so we get you through our DevOps bootcamp, which will tell you about the 10 to 12 different technology stacks. So that is where we teach you all the prerequisite in order to complete the projects. So we don't just throw you in deep waters and leave it to yourself. So we train you first, so that you have adequate knowledge to complete the projects, and then you get to do the projects. Now, the support on the project is through multiple channels. One is through our Slack channel, where we have got a technical forum. You can just put in whatever technical difficulty that you are having, and everybody is asked to jump in and start to resolve each other's issues. Because it's not just about executing a set of commands, it's going to get through the list of as many problems as you can. So it doesn't matter that the problem has occurred to your other team member. So try to resolve the problem, because it's all about the learning. It's not about one person completing the project and then just going in for another. So it's all about the learning. So you get a help from the forum. So if it is still unanswered, myself or Sanjeev will jump into it. We'll look at what's wrong, or if, and for that matter, if you are having any personal issues, if you think that you are lagging behind the class, you can always ping us one to one, and then we cater to what are the issues happening, and change of the way you start learning. So we look at it one to one individually.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Understood.
have one doubt.
Thank you. Thank you, Swin.
Dinesh, yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, hi Sanjeev.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm currently working as an automation tester using Selenium and RFT for the past 3 years. Okay, so my question is, am I a fit into this program? Because I don't have any knowledge regarding DevOps and cloud at all. So, and how is the program expected to, help me in my career transition?
Yeah. So that's a very common profile, test automation. You right now you don't have, but make I can guarantee that people around you, if you have a community or if you have people around you, they are already talking about how they are integrating their test automation frameworks into pipelines. They are maturing into not just functional testing, but performance testing, security testing, and infra testing, and all sort of other testing areas that is done in the DevOps and cloud space. So right now, the focus is in the first few weeks is going to be security. After that, we get into specific to these sort of scenarios for test automation, what sort of tools we are looking at, what sort of projects we are talking about. All our projects, apart from security, will have focus on test automation. We'll not write extensive what do you call, extensive use cases to test the application. Maybe few use cases, because our focus is not on testing alone, but how uh, the testing is integrated into nowadays DevOps and cloud space. So less on testing, but more on the right pipelines for testing frameworks. So it's going to be a focus area down the line.
Yeah, so more likely I would like to, enhance my skills in the DevOps and cloud stream. So
Yes.
I think this
And you
program
don't have
will
a choice
definitely.
also. It's you can be ignorant and not upskill yourself now. And then after a few years, whatever other people have spoken, right? They remained as PL SQL developer, or they didn't upskill themselves at the right time. Even within test automation, if you haven't done these sort of things, not integrated your frameworks in pipelines and all, not looking at Selenium. Have you installed this in a Selenium grid or Docker based Selenium setup?
No.
So then you are at least 5 years behind already. So you don't have that much of choice. Look at some YouTube videos. You
Okay.
look at how to build a Selenium grid for DevOps projects, and you will see that the video was probably uploaded 2015 or 16 or 17. So and that's what we built for a customer at that time. And when we were trying to build. So you are sort of already late. You should be jumping onto this area right away.
Yeah, sure, definitely. I hope the program, help me. Thank you.
Sure. Nikhil?
Yeah, yes, am I audible?
Yeah, yes, Nikhil, yes.
Yes, currently I'm working at Tech Mahindra as a technical support. So my concern is like I have 2 years of experience into technical support, and if I am enrolling in this course, and I have personally tried from my end to get into the DevOps, but they are expecting 2 years of experience, 1 year of experience.
What
So
do you
how
do in
can I deal
technical
with it?
support?
In technical support, we generally do the troubleshooting for the client issues, which can be resolved remotely.
What kind of issues?
It's mainly related to the hardware issues, networking issues.
Okay. Okay. So what we can offer is we can look at your these day-to-day activities, what sort of skills you have built, and what is roadmap for you. The good thing about you is that you are already working in a company. So when you go somewhere, if you are smart enough, in the next 3 months or 6 months, you can build experience worth of 2 years, then you can go as a 2 years experience person. You don't have to justify your salary slips and all sort of things. You can easily say that I was working as not as a technical support, I was working as a DevOps and cloud engineer. You can assess me based on my interview, and most of the companies will, if you can convince them in the interview, you can be hired as a DevOps and cloud engineer. But it will take for you, it's obvious, right? You have to justify 2 years, but you have only 6 months, so you have to spend a lot of time if that is what you're
Yes,
looking.
that I have tried from my end personally too. But the question from the interviewer is that's like a situation based. Like they ask what are the issues are you facing with Docker or
That's what I've been telling, right? That's what I have told in the upfront. You are learning from basic sources. You are not getting into those use cases. So when you will speak after 6 months, you would have worked on three, four different projects with us. You will speak about those projects. You will say, I got this issue. You will get issues in our projects. In our projects, you will at least take more than a month to finish. So you will get issues. And then you will be talking about those issues. I used Terraform. This didn't work. I used Docker. This failed. And this is how I troubleshoot it. Obviously, you will be sounding as an expert after that. Talking about your problems shows that you have done something. If you haven't done anything, you will have no problem. So they
yeah.
want to understand those issues, and those issues you will get when you do your hands dirty on a complex project.
Okay, thank you.
So it's very much relevant for you. Anybody in the group, they are already working somewhere, but they are not working in DevOps and cloud that much, but they want to switch to this profile and they want to show 2 years experience. The good thing is that they are working somewhere, their salary slips, their previous experience is sorted. They just have to do a bit of tweaking, that instead of doing any other role, maybe a technical support role or a hardware role, they have to justify that 2 years as a DevOps in cloud, and it will take a bit of effort. It will take some time. It will take 6 months of effort, I would
Yeah,
say.
one more, just a silly question, one more.
Mhm.
Yes, so my question would be, is in DevOps role, do we have an options for the remote role or something like that? Because I mainly prefer remote role.
That's all luck based and your skill based. We are all doing everything we are doing remotely, right? We are going to office 1 day a week, uh, and mostly we are working from home. So it's possible, but that's not something we can guarantee, or something that if you have the right skills, it may work out in future. Employers may appreciate it, but they will do it for the right person, not for everyone. So make sure you have the right
Okay,
skills. Focus on skills. Other things will automatically follow. One
okay,
of my student was his main intention was to go overseas, like work from Canada or Australia or UK. So he spent so much time that there was a company from Canada. They agreed to sponsor his travel and his PR and everything. So now he's settled in Canada. So that you need to build your skills, justify in the experience, work with them maybe from offshore, work with them from India, and then just tell them that this is the aspiration you have. You will continue with them if they do this kind of activity, and then they obviously, for the right people, all this happens.
okay. I got your point.
Yeah. Sampath,
Yeah, hi Sanjeev.
hi.
Yeah, my question is designation. Does designation really matters? Like I had earlier, I had joined in some institute or some online training. They said that my designation is like senior customer support executive, and
Mhm.
right now I'm working into telecom support, where mostly I like the earlier person who was working. I mostly deal with customer support for telecom related issues like packet core, but it is somewhat technical and somewhat customer face. So how do you suggest, like, is it the current mentorship program what we are going to start, will that help me in future, and does the designation really matters on paper?
I actually didn't get it. Designation, yes, to some extent. Uh, in a company, a team lead will have less power than a project manager. A senior project manager will have more power. So designation, in a way, matters to some people, yes.
No, no, I am not asking in that kind of
But
way.
yeah,
Like
that's why I didn't get it.
the
What
last person, yeah, the last person, the last when I had attended in a training with another institute. So they said that mostly you like your designation will not be suitable for this role or something. They said.
Oh, so send us your resume, maybe WhatsApp your resume, and we'll take a look whether you really fit into DevOps and cloud space, or unnecessary you are wasting time. That was the feedback, right? That should you really be into DevOps and cloud or not? Yeah, send me your resume. We'll take a look, because it's very difficult to suggest without looking at all the data points that something. It's more of a career advice. I would rather have more information before I make a decision or suggest something. Very hard based on a very high level information.
Yeah, sorry. I've been following your videos and everything, so that's the reason I joined here. So where should I share? Is it in the crowd lab WhatsApp group or any
Yeah.
one-to-one number I have to share?
Just the admin, look at the admins in that group and send it to admins.
Okay, okay, yeah, no issue. Thank you.
All right, no more hands up. So that means we had, and very nicely done, right? People
Hello,
very well structured.
hello,
I'm
Ibrar.
happy that people like
क्या हुआ?
Sukhdeep, you have got
डिस्कनेक्ट कर रहे हैं.
the last moment somebody. So yeah, this is how usually our live sessions are, that you raise your hand, ask as many questions. Sometimes these sessions go for 5 hours and we keep discussing such questions. And now we have more hands up. So Deep, go for it, man.
Yeah, hi, good morning, sir. So I have 4+ years of experience as an assistant professor. So I teach cloud computing and networking subjects. But I moved to Canada last year and I'm struggling to find a job. And would this like particular boot camp will help me?
See, you yourself said that you are struggling, so we can only help you, accelerate that process. You also put your effort. We will also add some value. And if you
Yeah,
look at the
but
cost, it's
because
not
because
that much.
whenever I applied for an interview, I am confused whether I have experience because I like teach for more than 4 years,
Teaching
and
is
would
not
I
not a teaching is not the solution. So yeah, teaching will help, because once you teach something, you usually remember those things. But
and
companies
I do have
companies expect
certifications in AWS as an associate and Azure fundamentals. So I have 3 certifications, but these certifications even are not helping. And I joined some other courses also, and yeah, they are not helping as I expecting them.
so
So
Sukhdeep, one question. Are you getting interview calls or are you not getting it at all?
yeah, I am getting interview calls
Okay.
from CGI and ISM. Yeah,
Yeah, I
but
think I think the answer is very crystal clear. You are getting interview calls. All you need is a thorough preparation, and that's what we do here. So all you need is and you already have the fundamentals all sorted out. So I think the
yeah,
projects and getting you and I think you already have the talking skills too,
the
because you're already teaching to the students. So all you need is a summary
yeah
of the project.
the problem I'm facing frankly is the project and reference, as you suggest.
Yeah, yeah,
Like these are the two problems
yeah.
like I am lacking behind. So is this boot camp will help me?
That's
But
correct.
that's absolutely what this bootcamp is meant for, because people are already learning basic stuff. We are not charging for that basic. If your intention is to learn basic and be happy, not having a job, basic is already available on YouTube. If we are
Right.
providing that basic CI/CD knowledge, and one that will not take you to nice places, then there's no value in this program. The program will
Yeah,
make
because
sure that,
somebody suggested if you have certification and you might get a job, but that's not working here.
That
So
did he tell you 2 years back?
yeah.
So things have changed in the last 2 years. 2 years back, even if you have DevOps and cloud on your resume, you would probably get a job. But
Okay.
now that's not the case. People look for perfect fit. They will grill you. They will try to find the right person. And they have right
Yeah.
people. They have good people without job or people who are trying to switch from one place to another with
Yes.
experience. So you have to compete with them. You don't have to compete just with yourself. Uh,
Yes. Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
No brainer, and absolutely, you add some value, and we will make sure in 3 months duration, things will improve. And we have
Okay.
some referrals in Canada, so we can look at all the other options as well.
Thank you so much. I'm like desperate to
No
join.
commitment on referrals. That's all depends upon whether you again apply. Like we can just probably take you closer to the job and get you an interview, but you will have to, work on that, and
Okay.
it's entirely on
Got
your
it.
effort.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Hi, Sanjeev. I had a question
Yeah,
for you. And
Santosh, just sorry, we have Uma raised her hand first.
Hey, hi. Hi, Sanjeev. I have been following your interview question and answers YouTube videos, but I'm a non-IT candidate. I want to switch my career into the DevOps, and also I have a career gap also. Will that DevOps is it suitable for me? Like without any technical knowledge, can I step into DevOps from basics to like your projects?
I would not give any definite answer to that. The assessment, whether it's suitable for you or you have some other options, so that I will leave entirely to you to decide. I would probably not jump the gun and say that no, this is applicable for you and you can do it. Look at your options. Look at what career or what learnings and what education you had, and identify that this can help you, this stream. You know the complexity, you know what kind of role it is, and based on that you can decide. I wouldn't say that this program is meant for you and you can just,
Yeah,
right? For
while
example,
watching we
if you did your education as a CA and you have a career gap, and now is DevOps and cloud relevant for you? Probably not, right?
Mhm.
So we need to assess. And
Okay. Okay. While watching YouTube videos and while practicing parallelly, I feel it is very easy. And after that, when I remember and I'm doing that, while I'm getting the errors, it's very difficult for me to crack that errors. The thing is, so I don't know. For a newcomer, how what will you suggest from scratch? I should learn? What things I should learn first?
so, see,
I
yes,
am getting so much
learning
of
is easy.
confusion.
Learning is very
Peop-
easy. It's
Mhm.
basic. There is a tool. You have to build an application. You have to deploy it to some test environment. You have to deploy it in higher environment, test it, deploy it, verify everything is running. So it's not complex. Learning is easy.
Yeah.
But when you start doing it, when you start executing it, when you get into issues, one error can take one full day and it will not be resolved. So, implementing and doing it with hands, doing it with multiple tools, complex scenarios, then that's where it gets quite
Yeah, it
complex.
is so confusing, Sanjeev. While following the YouTube, I feel it's so easy. Okay, while doing, I'm alone.
Because those
It
are
is so
easy
confusing.
projects. Because those
Oh,
are
is
easy projects, or they are pre-packaged projects. So, for example, cooking something from a pre-packaged food, somebody would think cooking is very easy, right? It's nothing. There is no magic. You get something, you get ready-made food, put it into boil it, and it's ready. That's what is with YouTube videos and projects that you see. Everything is packaged, Docker file is there, deployment script is there. You just come and run that file. If your environment is just a little bit right setup, it will run properly. And you will see, okay, I have deployed a complete Netflix app on my computer or in my EC2 instance or somewhere, and you will be happy. Uh,
So,
and
yep. So Uma, that is why when we start up with and that is one of the first things that the students do is go through the boot camp, DevOps boot camp. And so we've got around 10, 11 sessions in it. And each session, at the end of each session, we have mini assignments to be completed. And we ask everybody who is attending the course to complete all the mini assignments because otherwise it's just superficial knowledge. They think that yeah, they know this particular technology now. So, for example, like if you have Docker, if Kubernetes. So once we teach those sessions, we do cover mini assignments for each session, and that would prep them for doing the actual projects. So for students who haven't done those, they would think that they have the understanding, but when they're actually doing hands-on, they struggle a lot. So it's important to have a structured learning to it. Just going haywire, looking at multiple YouTube videos, that doesn't bring a structure. There are lots of different gaps, and that is why many students struggle when it comes to doing the projects.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting confused. And one YouTube channel, they are doing, they are installing Jenkins and Docker. Another one is doing Ansible. I'm so confused. Did that boot camp? Is it in YouTube channel? In your YouTube channel?
It's no, we don't publish it for public. So
Okay.
it's a part of the mentorship program. We had the boot camp as a separate unit as well, but now it's just a part of mentorship program. Uh, Mentorship by itself, it's a very structured learning. So we cover up the DevOps boot camp, then we go for all those assignments in it. We have got advanced AWS boot camp coming in for it. Then we have projects, and every week we have live sessions at Sunday 4:30 p.m. India time. So where we discuss about a lot more than just the projects or just the boot camp. So we cover up all the experiences we have. So last week we discussed about well-architected framework in AWS. The coming week we'll be discussing about the security. So as Sanjeev and myself have got a tremendous amount of experience working in these large sector banks, insurance, telecom, all these different domains. Sanjeev has also worked on retail. So we bring out a lot of flavors which when it is answered in the interview in the way that we ask you to, that brings a whole lot of different impression to the interviewer because then you start talking about the experiences and you're not just talking technical in terms of deployments or just using a technology. So it's a very different kind of profile that we bring to uh, in the boot camp.
How can I join in that boot camp?
I think I've sent the link all across in the chat. So it's just one link and you get access to all the everything covered in the program. So if you just look at the chat, so the link to the program is mentioned there.
Yep, Siddhant, next.
Yeah, hi Sandeep, hi Saurabh. So I am currently working as a Hadoop admin. I have total means 1 year experience. But they are currently migrating the Hadoop project into the cloud because of the cost optimization. Currently, we are running on the on-prem servers. So, but basically, how much means there are three cloud provider like mainly in market. So, how many cloud providers you are covering for this course?
We will be covering all of them, but depending upon how many students are interested in that. So our first focus is on majority of these learners, what we have seen so far are AWS focused. Then we get into Azure related cloud as well. And then finally, once we have enough intake for GCP, then we'll look at GCP as well. And we can cover all of them. Like I myself, AWS certified 5 times and Azure sort of covers GCP extensively.
Okay, yeah. GCP because our current organization is morely focusing on the GCP side.
BigQuery and all, yeah.
Yeah, BigQuery, Dataproc and all.
Mostly in my company, we use only product we use from Google is BigQuery. Everything from
Yeah.
AWS, we push everything, but I'm not extensively into that yet. But yeah, but Saurabh is. We can
Okay.
we can cover that. Yeah.
So basically, I have worked on some Jenkins tools and like, but I don't have that much experience in Jenkins. Some sort of automation I have made through Jenkins and Ansible for the
Yep.
platform side. So, yeah. And like, how about the Terraform and all the technology you are covering?
Yeah, they are extensively covered. They are bread and butter, you can say.
From
And
like start to like basic to advanced, right?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, thank you, sir.
Who's next?